Yo, what's up guys, my name is Nick and welcome to already the second episode of Season 2. In today's video we are going to race at Saudi Arabia at Jeddah. It's the fastest street circuit on the calendar. So let's just hope that our engine is fast enough to overtake some people, as we have an aerodynamics department event. And they want us to do some overtime. I don't know why exactly, but it would be a significant step forward. And that's the reason why I chose to agree on it. Just because it said significant, which means that is a good thing. So the morale will go down, but I don't worry too much about that. As we are doing our usual, we are doing the activities. Only 2 days that we can fill in. As we give Jensen some extra experience and focus. Of course, he is already quite experienced. And there is a new sponsor. We are changing Zigzag for a new sponsor called Novus. You can see them here. We have to complete 30 laps in total during practice. So we will be doing a lot of practice then before the start of each race. I'm also changing my team colors, as I want to give us a different color on the map. So now this will mean that we have a neon yellow color on the map when we are in a race or in a qualifying, so that we can see where Jensen is and where the Haases are. Apart from that, we are now getting our resource points and our development boost. I am thinking about stopping development for a few episodes so that we can do a major upgrade on our car in a few races time, maybe around the Austrian Grand Prix. I know there's a lot of races to go still, but maybe it will be sooner than that. As I think this is a lovely time to go to the qualifying. So I'll see you there. And of course we are starting our qualifying with a fault, with a cooling system fault to be precise. So we will wait a little bit longer to go onto the track, which is right now. We are letting Gasly pass as he is also starting a flying lap, and we have a lot of fast cars behind us. So we are letting them pass before we go on our own flying lap. As hopefully we can get into Q2, because I think the car is quite fast. Of course we have a setup which is a little bit more towards the corners, so that we can be fast in sector 1 and sector 2, most part of it. And as you can see, it's a 131.5, which is a really bad lap. I had something wrong with my pedal, with my throttle, so that's why I had such a slow time, as we are improving by almost a second in our second flying lap. But coming to the last corner, we don't make up that much time, as we were I think 1.5 seconds behind Magnussen. So I'm going to come into the pits and I will put on a new set of tires to go on a new flying lap then. As you can see here, we are going for that flying lap. It will be our second and only flying lap, as this is my fastest time in this qualifying. You can see through the first corners we go and we make up 6 tenths, even 7 tenths only in the first few corners. Which leads to 1.4 seconds, which is actually a purple sector, and a second faster than Gasly. So I think we will be safe as we come to the start-finish straight, and you can see 2.5 second improvement. This should be around P10 or something like that, and it's P5, 5/100ths of a second behind Max Verstappen. And I was quite happy about it, so I thought about doing some donuts, and here you can see them. So yeah, really happy with the lap. I tried to go on another flying lap, but that wasn't faster. So you can see we are in P12 and our teammate is in P15, so we are through to qualifying 2. But as we move on to qualifying 2, you can see we weren't fast enough. We were only in P13 and P16, so that's where we will be starting the race from, as you will see right now.
We're here today on the shores of the Red Sea in the Lower Hejaz Mountains to visit one of the newest circuits on the Formula One calendar. We're in Jeddah, home to what we all hope is going to be a thrilling Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Hamilton, Sergio Perez, and Russell, Fernando Alonso, Vettel, Ricciardo, and Guan Yu Zhou, Ocon, Norris, the engineer, and Magnussen, Stroll, Button, Robert Schwartzman, and Alex Albon, Gasly, Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, and Nicholas Latifi. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And with me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's have a chat about Williams. We've had a significant regulation change for this season, but from what we can gather at this early stage, it seems they've had some trouble adapting their car.
It doesn't look promising for them so far. And if the new regs have hit them as hard as we think, well, I suspect they may need a few late nights at the factory to get back on track.
It's time to go racing, and it's already 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights are on. And they're out and away we go. As usual, we have a bad start. Last episode, we had a good start actually. As we almost ran into the back of Magnussen. And if you haven't seen last episode, then go check it out right now. Button is also in front of me, so he has had a good start. And you can see we started the race with more than 1 lap of extra fuel, as we had some problems with that last time around. At the end of lap 1, we are already losing some time to Magnussen ahead. He is already 1 second ahead, and Stroll is quite close behind. So I'm trying to use as much ERS as possible, as this is a track where you can gain a lot of ERS as well. And you can see that first sector is really my fastest sector of all. I ran wide there, but I didn't get a warning, which is good. Otherwise I would get a penalty, of course, in a few laps time. And then coming to the end of lap 2, beginning lap 3, Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race so far. And the DRS is also now available, luckily. So we can get on and try to overtake Magnussen as we brake a little bit too late. But we luckily don't get damage from clashing into Magnussen. Lap 3 then, 1 lap later, and you can see we are still behind Magnussen in P15. This time I brake at the right time, and you can see there we are in a train because the front 2 guys are fighting. As there are yellow flags. What has happened? It's Button. Button is out of the race. No, it's an engine problem. Oh no, this is not a good start to the season for Jenson Button at all. Hopefully in the next episode he can get some points and even get a good start to a race for once. As there's a safety car right now, I am not going to pit as I am on mediums, so I'm just going to I'm going to go to the back of the safety car queue. As you can see, I'm trying to overtake Magnussen. Of course, that is not possible during the safety car. And my tires are already at 20%. So I don't really know what my strategy is going to be for the rest of the race. As we go wide at the last corner to try and get a good exit, but with doing that we actually lost time to the cars in front, so we had a bad restart and didn't manage to gain any positions, as you can see. I wanted to take his or actually I do gain some positions. We have contact with them, but we gain 2 positions in one. It's Magnussen and Norris. Norris, of course, going, or he went from McLaren to Alfa Romeo. McLaren is still the battle team, so I don't know why he did that. And yeah, we are currently in lap 7 in P11, so we still need to go for some extra positions to gain some points in the championship fight. Of course, we are not in the title fight to become world champions, or at least not for now. Maybe later in the season, as we do some big upgrades on our car, maybe then we can get into the front teams and maybe get some podiums and even a win. We got one last year, so hopefully we can do it once again this year. As you can see, we are quite close to the top 10. It's only half a second between us and points. Now it has become a little bit more as my tires are dying off so slightly. So let's just hope we can hold on to them for as long as possible to extend this stint. As you can see, we are quite fast through sector 1, except for this time. We didn't get a good line through the first corners, and then you just know that you have no chance at all at getting a good line through the rest of the sector. And now at this moment, Guan Yu Zhou is gaining quite a good amount of time to us, as he is now loose from the pack, so we won't be seeing him anymore. Maybe if he falls back down, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. It's now lap 10. We are going for P10. It's only 3 tenths. Can we go down the inside here? It is a no for us, as it was just too much a space between the 2 cars. Maybe in the rest of the lap we can get some time compared to him and maybe overtake him at the end of the start finish straight. As I'm going to do the exact same as Ocon ahead of me. If he pits, then I'm going to pit. If he doesn't pit, then I am also not pitting. And as you can see then, we had a bad exit through that last corner, and here is Norris right now. He's trying to put an overtake on us. You can see we are coming to the last corner of this lap, and I had a log up. He's going for the inside, but luckily we get a good exit out of this corner, which means that we can prevent him from overtaking us. Of course, he has a DRS, but we also have DRS. So we are staying in front of Norris for this lap 10. As you can see, Zhou now, or Zhou, I told you a few minutes ago that he is loose from this pack, but he's not. He's back in it again, as he just didn't have the pace to get away from all of us. As you can see, we are already up by 2 laps of fuel. So I just don't know when to take fuel out and when to add fuel. It all depends from circuit to circuit. So I am going to try and figure out how I can see if a circuit is heavy on fuel or not. But as you can see, Ocon is now outside at 1 second window, which is not good at all. Because we need to hold on to him, as we want to keep Norris behind. And now in lap 12, in 12, not 12. This is our pit stop lap, but as I said, I'm going to do the exact same as Ocon, as I want to not give him the undercut or overcut, to maybe try and overtake him as our tires are still cold coming out of the pits. But as you can see, we are not pitting, but Ricciardo and Zhou are So we are now up into P5. The rest of the grid are pitting. So now we need to push and try to overtake and overcut the guys who were in front of me, of course. And we are now coming to the end of lap 13. And it's yellow flags once again. It's Ocon who has a failure right in front of us. Luckily we didn't crash into him. I didn't see anything for a moment. And is there going to be a safety car? You can see I'm already thinking about switching my tires to softs, because if there's a safety car, then I can save the tires during that safety car period. As we are coming into the pits, then you can see a lovely drift into the pits, and we destroy the 80 kilometers per hour board, so nobody can see where to brake. As we are having a good stop, no pit stop failures for us, luckily. So we just have a steady stop. As now at our left hand side is Guan Yu Zhou, Lando Norris, and I think it's Daniel Ricciardo, or maybe Sebastian Vettel, who is behind us. So we overtook some people. And as you can see, it's still the out lap, and it is indeed Daniel Ricciardo. As we go down the inside, actually we stay down the inside, but out of nowhere Norris crashes into us. Let's have a replay of that, please, because this is not right at all. Safety car as well. Lando Norris is out of the race, but you can see here he tried to pull a DRS tactic on me. That didn't happen, of course, as he had a log up and he just turned into me. Also, it felt maybe I didn't give him enough room, as we see it now from Ricciardo's onboard. And we actually gave him some damage as well, so that's why he is also into the pit stand. And he is going for the soft tires, and so are we for the last 10 laps. Hopefully our tires aren't dead at the end of the race, but I think we should be fine. As we are now going to catch up to the safety car, so that we can fight and get through the field to gain some points, of course, because we lost a lot of positions because of that of that crash. So now in just 8 laps time we need to gain at least another 7 positions to gain at least 1 point in the championship. But maybe if we have a strong restart and some strong laps on these tires as they are still new, then maybe we can get up into maybe some high positions, something like P8 or P7 or something like that. But here we go then. It's time for the restart. We have once again a slow restart for us then. But I'm trying to take it cautious as I don't want any damage. As we go around the outside of Pierre Gasly and we go down the inside of Mick Schumacher. So we are already up 2 places in just 2 corners, as we are now coming into the same lap still lap 18, but around the outside of Yuki Tsunoda we try to go. We don't even need to use ERS, we are just using it now to get away from him. But that is us up into P14. Yuki Tsunoda has a 5-second time penalty, so he isn't going to be any competition for this race in just 7 laps. As we now go down the inside of Nicholas Latifi, of course he is in a Williams. We had some contact with him, and that's why I asked over the team radio if I had damage. Luckily I didn't. And you can see now coming into lap 19, only a few laps remaining. We are now in the dying stages of this Grand Prix. And we go down the inside of Lance Stroll into turn 1. It turns to the outside for turn 2, but luckily with the amount of grip that we still have on these tires, we can overtake him. And now it's only 2 cars between us and points. So let's just try to overtake Schwartzman and Magnussen then. And maybe even the guys in front, as we have a lovely first sector. You can see smooth through all of the corners. And we use ERS, we try to put Schwartzman on the defensive line. And around the outside we go. Is it enough to get P11 here? I think it is. Now it's only 1 position between us and points. And it's 6 laps, so we should be fine. As long as we don't get any damage, of course. We had a bad run through that corner, but it doesn't matter too much, as we have still no DRS, as it is 2 laps between the end of the safety car and DRS. So we go without DRS around the outside at the final corner, and we are into the points, which is amazing. Now it's the other Haas of Zhao Guanyu and the Alpine of Fernando Alonso ahead of us. So hopefully we can overtake them as well and gain some extra points. The points which we should have had in the Bahrain GP, but because of course the fuel management wasn't good there, so we didn't actually cross the finish line with enough fuel. Luckily we still got 1 point in that race, but we are going for more this time around then. As you can see, pit window open, but not for us. We are sticking it out till the end on this set of tires. We go down the inside of Zhao Guanyu and we are up into P9. It's 2 points to our name now, but we want more. We want every point there is, and we go down the inside of Alonso at the end of sector 1. But we overshoot the corner and we are still side by side. Can we hold on? We use ERS, we use the grip that we still have left in these tires, and we are ahead into P8. I don't think we are faster than a Red Bull, so maybe this is all we have to do, or all we can do, I should say, in this race. But as you can see, through sector 1, once again a lovely sector 1. We gain a lot of time compared to Perez and even to Sebastian Vettel in that McLaren. Of course, we have a purple first sector. Can we put in the fastest lap of the race? Of course, we are on softs. Daniel Ricciardo, who is also on softs, has pitted, so he is on newer softs, and maybe he is going to gain enough time to win that fastest lap. But for now, we are trying our best to gain that 1 extra point. Then it's DRS open, and we go with 330 kilometers per hour. It's a second purple sector. Then I'm taking you through this whole lap. As you can see, we are oh so close behind Sergio Perez. We've dropped Alonso by around 2 seconds right now. The first sector has gone green, so I think that means that Daniel Ricciardo is faster than us. But we go down the inside at the last corner and we overtake Perez. He is still fighting back, but we have no DRS actually. So we have to do it with what we have in the ERS. As we put in the fastest lap, it's a 1:30.951, and we are now currently in P7. It's only 3 laps remaining with this one included. And as you can see, we are now in the penultimate corner, only 1.5 seconds between us and Vettel ahead. But my tires are now over 60%, so I think we should just be happy with what we have here. You can see almost 70% at the front left and front right tires, so we are taking it easy. You can see the grip isn't there anymore. And I tried to take it easy throughout this whole lap, but that meant that Perez could catch up again. And through the final corner, we go for one final time. Carlos Sainz wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's a 1-2 for Ferrari. And Max Verstappen puts in the exact same time as us. So we lose the fastest lap, but we still are in P7. What an amazing race this was. Perez didn't overtake us in that final lap, which is amazing. Robert Schwarzman gets driver of the day. That's good for the rookie, but let's have a look at the podium.
So another excellent win from Ferrari. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them? Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
As you can see, Ferrari has a 1-2 with that special livery, of course, what they had for Monza. It's still in the game, and Lewis Hamilton managed to get P3 then here in Saudi Arabia. That is the podium for today then. We managed to finish in P7, not with the fastest lap, but I'm still happy with it. It is in total 6 points. As you can see now the standings, and it's Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, and then Max Verstappen and George Russell. Vettel in P6, which is really great for him. And our teammate unfortunately had a DNF quite early on in the race. so he couldn't gain any points this episode. Hopefully in the next episode he can gain some points and actually finish a race without any damage, because he hasn't done that yet. But let's have a look then at the standings as we are saving the full race replay. We are up into P9 then with a total of 7 points, and we are in P6 for the constructor standings, as the only points we've gained with the team are from my side of the garage. We have 2 upgrades failed, but that will be for next episode. If you have enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments down below what you think about this amazing series. And then I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.